The rebellious heiress, longing for freedom, randomly pulled a passerby off the street. With the help of the poor guy, they successfully shook off the bodyguards assigned by her father to protect her. To keep her father from worrying, she called him to assure him she was safe and could take care of herself. Her father, infuriated, immediately deployed his men to search for Annie. His anger was justified, as he was the president of a country and feared enemies in the shadows would target his family. Annie, predicting her father wouldn't sit idly by, bought a ticket to Berlin right after hanging up. Jack, worried about her safety, offered to accompany her. But before they could board, her father's men arrived. They hurried onto the train while the bodyguards boarded another car. Jack smiled, and the two chatted and laughed all the way, even making a new friend during the journey. When they arrived, it dawned on them they'd taken the wrong train and wound up in Venice. Annie shrugged it off, but Jack became uneasy. As they wandered, Jack called Annie's father, revealing his role as one of her secret bodyguards. He reported their location and mentioned his previous anxiety about the Berlin trip. Suddenly, Jack noticed Annie had vanished from sight and began searching desperately. He wandered the city like a wild horse, while Jack followed her like a butler, every move she made tugging at his heartstrings. In the afternoon, they parted ways with the man they met, and Annie reluctantly took a photo with him. Their journey was back to just the two of them. That evening, dining by the lake, Jack realized his wallet was missing when it was time to pay. He checked his pocket, and only then did they both realize the man they'd spent the day with was a con artist. Annie ran, but Jack had no money to pay, and the restaurant owner chased them. They hid under a bridge and escaped for the moment. Knowing this was temporary, Annie focused on the boatman, but he refused to help them escape without payment. She had an idea, nudging Jack with her foot. "Are we married? Should we obey my parents' wishes? What I'm saying is, would you prefer to die without my love?" Then, a touching love story was concocted. The ferryman was deeply moved. The boat sailed on the lake, and Jack's gaze fell on the restaurant owner ahead. Then he looked at couples on other boats. Without Annie's consent, he kissed her directly. And just like that, Annie's first kiss was gone. Not only did he not resist, he even enjoyed it. It's hard to say why. Maybe he had unknowingly developed feelings for Jack. After the restaurant owner left, the two parted reluctantly. Knowing they had no money, the owner kindly offered to let them stay at his house. Naturally, Jack and Annie did not refuse. After learning that the two were newlyweds, the mother warmly welcomed them and even had her son prepare a room for them. There was only one bed. Jack took a blanket and decided to sleep on the floor. Annie saw this and didn't say anything. Just as she was about to undress, Jack said, "Come on, don't be shy, it's the wedding night." He knew their status difference well and stayed with Annie due to his father's task. As he was about to sleep, surprisingly, Annie lay down beside him.